Hey friends, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to quickly answer some frequently asked questions I've been getting about the Pixel phones, the Pixel event, things like that, because y'all have been able to find me on any form of social media, whether it's here on YouTube, on Instagram, even on Threads. Y'all are messaging me and asking me, what's up with the Google Pixel 8? Are you going to get it? And a bunch of other questions. So I'm going to answer the top 5 questions I've been getting very frequently over the past few weeks in this video. And I will also talk about like some things that I'm looking forward to in the Google event that is coming up less than a month from now. The Google Pixel event is on October 4th. So I think we have like 3-ish weeks or a little bit more than 3 weeks. So it's coming up very soon. Stay tuned on the channel because I will be doing multiple videos on the event and the Google Pixel 8 series, stuff like that. But let's get into these handful of questions that you've been asking me. Okay, so I have the questions over here. It's on my phone, so if you see me looking down, that's the reason why. But question number 1 is, will you be switching to the Google Pixel 8 series? And my answer to that is that it's very likely. The reason why I think that it's likely is because I know my habits and I know that I have over the years always upgraded to the next latest version of the Google Pixel phones. So just based off of my habits, I feel like it's very likely I'm just going to do the natural thing that I always do, which is upgrade to the latest phone. And usually whenever these new Google Pixel phones come out, there is an upgrade to mostly the camera. The camera is what I'm mostly interested in, but there are upgrades to the hardware where I feel that it is worth upgrading to the latest phone so that I can ensure that I have the latest technology when it comes to cameras on a smartphone. So I have been hearing some speculation about upgrades to the camera. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I end up going with the 8 or the 8 Pro, but chances are I'm going to be picking one or the other. Okay, question number 2. Will you be getting the Google Pixel 8 Pro? Now, this question is very similar to question 1, but I've been getting a lot of questions particularly about the Pro. I'm not too sure why. Maybe the Pro is a little bit more enticing compared to just the 8 phone. Not too sure. The differences are very minimal. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. It really depends. And when I end up deciding which one I go with, I will let you know, and I will let you know why I ended up going with one or the other. But I'm not sure. I have always gone with the regular number phones, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, blah, blah. But recently, I have been going with the Pro. So I did the 6 Pro, and I did the 7 Pro, which is the phone that I have right now. So maybe I'll do the 8 Pro. The only reason why I ended up going with the Pro versions of the number phones is because I have like a bunch of discounts whenever I trade in a phone, because I always go with like a Google phone and I do all of my trade-in through the Google store. I get a lot of discounts, so it just ends up making more sense for me to use that huge discount on the more expensive phone because I get a bigger discount on the more expensive phone. We'll see, because I have also heard that prices for phones are also going up this year. So if the price isn't worth it, even though there are discounts, I'm not gonna go with the more expensive route. To be honest, it's just not practical. Okay, 3rd question. Will you be getting the Pixel Watch 2? Now this is actually not likely. I'm not one who typically upgrades watches frequently, especially year over year. I usually get like one solid smartwatch and I stick with it for several years. I just don't feel like it's worth upgrading a watch every single year. So it's not in me to want to do that. It's not in my habits to want to do that if we're talking about habits from like question 1. So it's just not likely. And also this current watch that I have, which is the Google Pixel Watch, the 1st gen, it was pretty pricey, and I just don't want to go through that whole process of switching over watches, especially when this one was pretty expensive. I want to make like the most use out of it. I am not sure what's going to go on with pricing and features and stuff like that when it comes to the Pixel Watch 2, but yet again, I am going to be doing several videos on the event and the devices that they release or they announce, so you'll hear my thoughts when the time comes, and I will confirm with you, like I said, 90% sure. Not gonna get it. Okay, and the last question, this might be the most popular question that I get. Should I be switching to the Google Pixel 8 series phones? So a lot of people are asking me already if they should be switching from their iPhone over to a Google Pixel phone, and while I can speak on other phones in the Google Pixel series as a whole, I can't obviously speak on the 8 series because it hasn't been fully released yet. I don't know all of the full details. I don't know everything about it, so I can't make an educated guess or answer for you yet. I will say I also don't know much about iPhones. I have never fully owned an iPhone. I've purchased one iPhone many years ago and I hardly used it, so I can't really speak much in terms of how the iPhone performs in comparison to the Google Pixel phones, which is why I never do videos on them in that way. So it really does depend on what benefits you see from either phones and which benefits outweigh the cons, the pros and the cons, if that makes sense. So I will leave that judgment to you when the time comes, when the 8 series releases and we get to talk about it a little bit more. We'll talk more about the details and the specs and how I feel about it, and if some things are worth it, some things are not worth it, at least in my opinion. I can't speak for you, but hopefully my opinions and my feelings about it will help you make a decision on your end. But I will say, as a whole, I've had the Google Pixel phones since the inception, since their very first Pixel phone, and I have upgraded to every single one of them year over year. So I'm really well versed in the Google Pixel world, and I have to say it's the one phone since the Samsung Galaxy phones where I absolutely love them, and I feel that they are worth it, and I feel that they fit my needs better than any other phones that are out on the market. That's just for me, that's just my personal opinion. So I do highly recommend the Google Pixel phones in general. Which one is the best fit for you? That depends on what you're looking for, that depends on your budget, things like that. But we'll talk more about this. We'll talk more in just a few weeks. So stay tuned once again for that event coverage kind of video that I'll be posting. It's not gonna be like a second after the event, y'all. I gotta like process my thoughts and record it, film it, and get it out to you. So it may be a couple of days after the actual event, but feel free to find me on social media. Find me on Slow Morning Diaries on Instagram, Threads. I can't believe y'all have been finding me on Threads. It's actually kind of awesome. But yeah, chat with me in wherever space you are most comfortable chatting with me about it. And I'm looking forward to this event. I will say, to end this off, the one thing aside from the camera, which I've already talked about in this video, that I'm looking forward to with this phone, this new Google Pixel 8 series phone, is the aesthetic design. I think there have been some whispers about it having like a matte texture. I'm seeing that the edges are a little bit more curved, a little bit more rounded. The colors that I have seen so far are stunning. So visually, I'm very, very excited about that. And then of course, the other thing that I mentioned, I'm very excited about the camera hardware if there are some major upgrades there. But that is all for this week's video. I hope these answers satisfied you for the time being. Wait a few more weeks and we'll talk some more, but thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in next week's video.